Hey guys, so today we'll be answering the WJEC A-Level Maths sample paper. Okay, so as you can see here, question 2 says 7 sine squared theta plus 1 is equal to 3 cos squared theta minus sine theta. So in this equation, we have a mixture of sine and cos functions. So now let's try and get this into the same trig function. So by looking at the cos squared theta, this reminds me of the trig identity whereby we have sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. So from the equation we have sine squared theta plus 1 is equal to 3 cos squared theta minus sine theta. So now by looking at this cos squared theta, we want to replace it by using the formula above, the trig identity above. So now we can rearrange it to have cos squared theta as a subject. So now cos squared theta we have is equal to 1 minus sine squared theta. So we can replace the cos squared theta and substitute it to be equal to 1 minus sine squared theta to obtain this equation. So now if we expand this, we have 7 sine squared theta plus 1 is equal to 3 minus 3 sine squared theta minus sine theta. So if we put the whole equation onto one side, we have 7 sine squared theta plus 1 minus 3 plus 3 sine squared theta plus sine theta is equal to 0. So now we can simplify this equation to obtain 10 squared theta plus sine theta minus 2 is equal to 0. So now we have something looking like a quadratic equation. So we can solve this to obtain what sine theta is equal to. So we can do this either by using the quadratic equation formula or by using your calculator. So if you use the quadratic formula, you can, instead of finding x, you will find what sine is equal to. So now we can use a calculator to obtain that theta at 2/5, sine at 2/5 is equal to 23.6, and at sine minus 1/5, we get theta is equal to minus 30. So now at sine 2/5, we know that this is a positive, so this will lie within the positive quadrant of y. So if we draw a line, a rough sketch between 0 and 1, we can say that this point is equal to 2/5. So we can see that this line intersects the function at these various points. So if we shade these in, and by using the information above, we know that this point is equal to 23.6, which we found using the calculator. So since we know that this point is equal to 23.6, therefore the gap between 0 and 23.6 degrees, we know that the shaded region is equal to 23.6 degrees. Therefore, at this point, we have 180, take away the shaded region, which is 23.6, which we obtain 156.4 degrees. Now at this point, we know this is out of range. So by using the information above, we know that this will be 360 plus 23.6, which is above the range we were given. And similar to this point, this is also out of range as it's within the negative quadrant. So we were told we are only allowed to obtain values between 0 and 360 degrees. So we're not supposed to go below that point or anywhere above that point. So now these are the values we obtained. And also for the next point, we know that we found sine theta at minus 1 over 5. So now we can draw a rough line between 0 and minus 1. We can let this point be equal to minus 1 over 5. So this is drawn to scale, it's not really accurate, but it will help us to visualize where the points we are obtaining. So as we evaluate these points, we can see where the line intersects the function, the sine graph. So we have these 4 points. So let's begin with this point. We know that this is equal to minus 30 degrees from what we found above. So now we have the area shaded in, the section shaded in is equal to 30 degrees. So now at this point we can have 180 degrees plus the shaded region, which is equal to 30 degrees. Now if we add that to 180, we get 210 degrees. Similar to this point, we have 360 degrees minus 30 degrees, which is equal to 330 degrees. So now that we found all the values for theta, we can now write this all together. So we have theta is equal to 23.6 degrees, 156.4 degrees, 210 degrees, and 330 degrees. And all these angles are within the range given above. So now we can see that we answered this question correctly and we will obtain all 6 marks.